Welcome to the Bloomz on Tour, a unique and exciting art challenge between 7 talented artists from 4 countries over 7 months. The Bloomz Arthouse Collective is a group of brilliant artists from around the globe, united in their passion for creating stunning art, but divided by the fact that they each work in their own very different artistic medium. So, how would these artists cope if they had to break out of their comfort zones and create pieces of art using the media, processes and techniques of their fellow Bloomz artists? Well, you're going to find this out in these Bloomz on Tour episodes. Now, art is for everyone to try and to enjoy. So how about having a go at these challenges yourself at home? All the details of each task featured in the episodes can be found at thebloomz.co.uk after each episode has aired. You'll have great fun trying different forms of art, and the Bloomz artists will also happily give you encouragement as well as feedback and advice on your creations. In this episode, we travel to the county of Warwickshire in central England, where the challenge is set by the Bloomz incredible fibre sculptor, Stephanie Lester. Let's first hear from Steph and then find out how everybody copes with the challenge that she set.
Hi, my name's Stephanie Lester and I am a fibre artist. I sculpt animals using the needle felting technique, and I have a few of my creations around me here, and I'm very much inspired by the animals themselves, and I get to know them during the process of preparing for the sculpture, and it's the essence that I connect with that I try and portray in my sculpture. So the project that I have set everybody is to produce an octopus, and I provided with a list of materials for the octopus and also sent some needles and instructions to everybody. Let me bring, and here I have, if I can bring them into focus, here's one, and also you've got a mama one who's actually even bigger behind. So why did I picked the octopus? Because number one, I've used mauve, but you can use any colours. You can use anything really. You can go mad. You could add embellishments if you're so into, like embroidery, and adding some bits and pieces, mixed media if you want to. I just thought it was a way of everybody having a go at needle felting, but also being able to express themselves if they so wish to. And I just really look forward to seeing all of the creations.
The first step in each challenge is for the artists to open the envelopes they received from their task-setting colleague. Exciting or terrifying? Let's find out.
Okay, so open your golden envelope. Yeah.
Sliding. It's got, just point out, it's got Fiona written on the top here as well, so I know it's mine. Quite apart from the address on the other
That was
side.
so that Steve put the right labels on the right envelope, Fiona.
You have a minion to do your labelling for
I
you.
do have a minion, yes. Yep, so go straight in. Yeah, you can open the envelope. That was just in case someone snuck a look inside the golden envelope. I'll put another envelope inside.
Oh. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, I'd nearly missed some bit, the important bits.
Oh, you got your
Very
little card.
important.
Yes. Oh, yes. We've all got a different card. Oh, yes. Look, obviously, little dog for Fiona.
I've just seen it now.
What? Sing what?
The project.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you got
my
any
goodness.
extra little bits in your envelope?
Oh yes, look at
Oh,
these. Oh my gosh, these look
Got needles.
little. The little.
I've got some finger bobs.
They can protect your fingers.
Oh
It's
my
just you're just
God.
stuffing yourself.
I'll need to get some more for the rest of my finger.
Well, usually it's just the couple of fingers which are holding the project mat, which are the problem. So it's like your thumb and your, yeah. So,
Oh my goodness.
Octopus. Oh my gosh.
Octopus. Yay, Dodo. Mac, I thought appropriate, babe.
So
Oh
we've
my
got
heavens.
4 different colouring needles. Are they different fineness of needle?
They are. They
Yeah,
are.
you've got a little guide
You've
as
got a little
well.
guide in there as well, telling you all the difference.
What the needle colours are.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Star and twisted. So what's star and twisted mean then,
Okay,
Steph?
so that's, well, if you actually looked at it end on, you'd see that the metal has been literally twisted. So a normal one is just a triangle, and if it's twisted, it's been twisted. And all that means is when you use that needle, you're less likely to get a hole on the outside. So it's usually when you do the finer bits at the end, because it's much finer. And the higher the number, the smaller the needle. So if it's a 40, then it's a much finer needle than if it's a 36 or a 32. That means it's a chunky needle for when you get started on it. So.
If you actually put the needles in the light and then twiddle them in your fingers, you can see which are the twisted ones because they spiral around.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
I see that catching the light.
So
Whoa.
I've obviously put a picture of the actual octopus that I did, and here's my little chap here. Now yours doesn't have to be this colour; it can be whatever colour you want. But when I've actually written your list of materials, I've obviously written the amount of grams for the colours that I've used for that particular picture you can see. So if you think, well, actually I want a different colour, you know, if you want to replace the purple, you need to get about that many grams. Now,
How do I do? Where do I start?
yeah.
You know, just looking at the picture. Oh my goodness.
no. So you've got 2 things, which is you've got the instructions, and here is the physical, but I've got a flip book, and you've got the link which shows you, and it shows you photographs as well as. Now the only difference here is the instructions are for plant-based fibres, and well, you can get plant-based fibres if you want, but all the links I've given you are to wool and animal-based fibres. That's the only difference with the instructions and what you'll be getting. You also have a link to the video, and I did a video where I'm actually taking someone completely through the project, so you can watch that if you like, however you like to learn, be it the video, be it this, but do whatever you want. If you want to do it bigger, if you want to do it more colourful, if you want to do it with 26 legs, completely up to you. You can go small, you can go big, you can go however you like. So the instructions and the videos and everything are just to show you really techniques and give you a bit more confidence in doing it, and so you can then.
I think a bit more confidence is a bit of an understatement, Steph. Have 0 confidence at the moment.
Steph, how long should it take your average novice to create this octopus?
Do I actually say on here? Let me say. So I often forget how long it would take, and often I actually say on the instructions. I don't think I have. I would say myself that it would take 4 or 5 hours for someone. I mean, it could, if you're a complete novice, then it could, you know, go up to the 6 hours type thing. But I would say don't do it all in one go, because when I do things like this, I do it in stages. I do the core, then I do the colour, and then I do extra prettying. Because like on my one here where I put a little starfish on top and things like that. And in fact, I did a bigger one where I actually put spots on his head and everything. Because these little dots underneath take time. But you have to put
We
on.
not paint those on? No? Multimedia?
And halfway through, this will all make you laugh because it's rather, I don't know what it is, but every time I do a project and I photograph it, there's always a rude photo. 11A. Give you a laugh. When you get to that point, you'll enjoy that.
What if we don't get beyond that stage? Oh.
That's right.
Oh, well then, Miss Fiona, you've been spending too much time doing something else.
Oh, dear. So
We're heading into Max territory there.
Woohoo.
Oh,
In my where I've written other felting mat, well, depending, you can actually, you've got a bit of foam around. Lots of people just use foam as a mat, because all it is to protect the needles, that when you're felting down onto the table, you don't want to whack it into the table because it destroys the needles. And I quite often just use a lump of wool with felt over it, but that's all it is. It doesn't have to be a special mat bought from any of them. It can just be foam, and in fact we often have little polystyrene things out of packets that people can use just to, so don't feel that you have to do that. I wrote eyebrow brush because I use eyebrow brushes when I'm brushing hair, like on this one where I've got some hair out the top.
Oh, I thought that was for me to get mine in order.
It can be, so you look beautiful, as always, yes.
Right, what would be your one tip? If you could only give us one tip, what would be the one golden tip in producing the octopus?
I mean, personally, because I think all of you have never done it before, I would say watch the video, even if you've just got it in the background when you're doing something else. Watch and listen to it all the way through, because that'll help you understand the important parts. Because like in all projects, isn't it, there's a point where you go, now make sure it's right before you go on to the next bit. And so you know then that when you're bashing away to start with, it's not important to get it accurate. And I would say that don't fret about it, like when you're doing the core and everything and getting it up, and because you always have time to put it right, you're always going to add colour on the top. You can, the great thing about these projects is you can always rip bits off and add things on. So don't get overly, oh my God, it needs to be perfect at this stage. No, it doesn't. Until you've finished, it's not finished, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So, but I would always say, listen to the video, even if you are just listening to it while you're doing something else, because it will just give you the gist of how the project goes and think, oh yeah, okay, right.
And should it, when it's done, it should feel quite hard, firm. It's not a
It's interesting.
Sammy Hexter Andrews.
Yeah, depends what bit you're looking at, but yeah, you can still, I mean, I'll tell you, you can see, I can squish that still.
Okay. Because some of your animals are really very firm to the touch, aren't they?
I wouldn't recommend anybody does that until you actually have done a lot of projects, because it takes a lot of time to felt things so they're solid. And funny enough, I was looking at another felting artist whose work I adore, and I was watching her stage where she got the core and she was adding to it, and I thought, oh, do you know, I think hers are quite soft, you know, as in not as rock hard as the one that I have them when she adds fur and things. So it isn't a requirement, it's just that's how I prefer to get my pieces. It makes them more robust, you know, and especially when I do bigger pieces, but it's not a requirement to have it yet. And Sammy is killing herself, but
go and wash your mind out.
Stabbing.
Yet.
It was funny, I had a comment on one of my videos about that, saying she wished that people didn't use the word stabbing, and I said, well, I'm trying to change.
Brilliant. That's
I'm looking forward to this project. Well, I'm looking forward to all the projects, but I'm looking forward to this one because I've only attempted it once and it looked like roadkill. So I don't know how this is going to go. Like Fiona says, it may be a totally different sea creature that appears.
But that's the great thing about sea creatures, aren't you? You could say this one is from the deep. Never been seen before.
It lives next to Nessie.
Yes.
New species.
So I have collected all my pieces for Steph's task. I may have gone a little overboard on the wool stakes here. I really needed to make sure that I had some of the colour I wanted, regardless of what colours Steph had on her list. And these were the smallest packs I could buy, so I'm going to be able to make lots more needle felting creations in the future. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully I enjoy it. Otherwise I'll find a different use for these beautiful fibres. Steph kindly sent me some plasters, as they call them, or band-aids as we call them over here in Oz. They may come in really handy. I'm very concerned about stabbing my fingers as we go along. I've got everything I need, so let's get this show underway.
So it's now time for me to start the challenge by Stephanie, and I'm so happy to have some needle felting to do. So let's start looking at this magic box that I've received. I've ordered some wool on the basis of the Octopus project, and okay, I'm trying to show you what I've ordered is far more than what I needed, really. I'm quite an addicted. So I wanted to use this magenta wool to, here is, among other things, the core wool, which I'm going to use for the bases and the tentacles. And I also have some more. Okay, here at the bottom of the parcel I have some blue wool, which I will use to make some refining elements, and I think it will be wonderful.
Well, here I am. I've got Steph's list of materials in front of me, and there we go, list of materials, and we're doing an octopus in needle felting, so all very new to me, but very exciting. So I need to order my wool, and I'm on the website, but I think I want to go for some sort of mixed bag because I don't need a lot of any one particular colour, and I've got a particular colour scheme in mind for my octopus. Dragon tones. Dragon sounds good to me. They look like the right colours, and let's order them before I change my mind. So that's my wool ordered. I'm on my way.
Okay, so I am about to start Stephanie's task. I have got my wools assembled. I've got my needles in here, keeping them in a box because they look pretty ferocious, and I am just a little bit worried about what I might do with them. So they're staying safely in there so they don't fall out. Little thingy bits, and I've just found this piece of frame edging to use, so I'm going to see how that goes, and yeah, we'll see what we can make. Oh, and the other thing I've got as well is I have got some, so this is actually some wool from my parents' farm. So they had some sheep, or have sheep, and it looks actually quite the same as the core wool. I'm going to have a go at seeing if this felts in the same way once I've got going. We will see. We may use that idea or we may abandon it. Looks like it needs a good clean actually compared to the lovely prepared stuff that we've got here. So time will tell.
Stephanie Lester's challenge to make this cute little octopus. In order to do so, you need these materials, which I have got, I think. Core wood fibre, purple wool, purple. I have some other colours in this box, which I may or may not use. I always like to leave a little bit of mystery.
So now I'm going to start Stephanie's project, which is making an octopus. So I've got all the bits that was on her list. So I'll show you. Let me just tell. I've got this for my felting mat. Hope that'll be okay. I've got the needles, the 4 different size needles that Stephanie sent me. I've got my instructions printed off. I've got my coloured wool and my core wool. I thought I'd better order a bit more than was said, because likely I'm going to make a mistake. But I will show you everything I did.
I think I'm ready. I've divided up, put away half for my head. These are to make my legs, so I'll put each of these piles away for the moment, keeping only one, and let's get cracking. Oh, this is definitely a challenge. Oh, stabbed the thimble already. Oh, maybe. Oh my god, if it takes that much effort just to get that tiny little bit done, this is going to be a long bloody process. Okay. So you can see I am about to start my colour on my octopus shape. I'm still sporting the one nasty-ish stab wound, which I am going to cover up again. So I've started working on my little starfish. Things were going really well. I've started on my little tentacle sucker thingies and disaster struck. I broke a needle. We will press on. I still have a couple of other needles, so hopefully that will not happen again. I don't even know how I did it, but we must press on. I will say doing these small bits is more dangerous to the fingers because I've stabbed my finger I don't know how many times now.
Magnificent octopus. It's coming along very well. It's sumptuous. Well, these tentacles remind me quite a little bit of the fingers of the Grinch, you know. Yeah. Didn't want it to be only red. I wanted it to be, I think, a little bit more luxury. And so I decided to use this sort of mix of wools. It's a beautiful mix of color. And I think it's mixed between this turquoise and this light green, which are mixed together to create something like this. I'm just felting a little bit of this wonderful wool on the tentacles and on the base of our octopus. I will be very, very soft in order just to felt it gently.
Hi there, it's Fiona here, and I'm sitting here at my rather messy studio table to start doing some needle felting. You can see that on the video, but it's just getting smaller and smaller in the middle where I'm felting it, so back to watching. Oh my goodness, this needle felting is a bit addictive. Got him ready, so here he is. He's got all his legs on, haven't got any suckers yet, and his body with his eye sockets. I made the legs a little bit longer and I didn't like the dangly bits, so I left them off. Anyway, so here we go, ready to start on his eyes. When I've come back and looked, I've decided that I think some of his markings were a little bit too bold, so I'm just going to take a little bit of the green .
Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit of this, which I believe is my core wool. Separate it out. And I'm not entirely sure which of these needles I'm supposed to be using for which, so I'm going to just have a little practice and see what happens. Okay, I have some octopus legs. I broke one of my needles about 1.5 legs in, so that wasn't ideal. So I've just had a quick break. I've gone and got a better base to work with. So I think that might be why I broke a needle. And yeah, it's time to follow the next steps and see if we can create some kind of an octopus. Let's wait and find out. Well, Stephanie, I think you have the patience of a saint. I have to say I have been fighting with an octopus for the best part of the day, or certainly the afternoon is an understatement. He still needs a bit of finessing, I think, in places, but this is where I'm stopping for tonight.
that I bought for Stephanie's piece, which I kept hidden at the beginning, but they all kind of blended into that kind of purpley colour that Stephanie used. And the colours that I've used seem to, for me, work well with those. And I looked at other octopuses in the wild, and I liked the kind of knobbly surface of some of them. And so I wanted to incorporate that, showing them in colours.
Just lightly felt in the edges of the ball. It doesn't fall off. It's going to be a bit boss-eyed, I think. Bigger than the other. And one is lopsided. Just straighten him up a bit. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to turn this off. So that's my little fishy finished. Old Octavia the octopus has caught him for her supper. So, not the little fish friend I thought he was going to be, but a lovely little dinner guest.
Hi Steph, how are you? All right?
I'm good, I'm good.
We are here, of course, to review, or you to review, the needle felting projects that your fellow Bloomz artists have done. Now, this is a total breakaway from the normal painting art and drawing art that we've had in this Bloomz on tour. So what was your idea behind giving them this particular project?
Right, so I thought octopus, because, you know, the octopus can be weird and wonderful, so I thought it gave them full creative to do what they want, any colour that they wanted. You know, it could be as realistic, it could be comical, it could be anything. So that was why I thought it was the best way to say, over to you.
Let's look at the first offering. We're going down under for this. We're going to have a look at Cindy Porter's creation. Now, Cindy, of course, is our Bloomz watercolour animal artist.
Yep.
And this is Cindy's creation.
Hey, well, surprise, surprise, it's orange. Cindy loves tigers, so this isn't a surprise that she's done an orange one and with the blue. So I love the blue eyes with the orange, that's fantastic. Cindy was really, really worried, I know, before we did it, about actually stabbing herself with the needles, but I can't see any blood on there anywhere, so she's obviously cleared it up. She has. But she's done a great job. She's, you know, done the shape of the head, even around the eyes. She's got the bulging eyes as well as the blue colours. I can't see what she's done with the suckers, because I know the suckers would have taken a long time underneath. I can just about see that one on that side there. But yeah, and with the trails on the ends, which gives the idea of the floating in the sea. And even a little star on the top too, actually. But she's done a good job looking at it. It's felted fairly well. Okay, my only surprise is she didn't put any stripes on it.
I know Cindy was worried about the needles. It looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. No, really good.
An Aussie octopus. Okay, so let's go on to our next Bloomz artist. We're going to travel to Italy to see Elisa's. Now, Elisa is our figurative artist. Elisa produces wonderful paintings of the female soul within her paintings. So that's Elisa's.
Brilliant. Now I know Elisa's done some needle felting before, and I know she loves needle felting. So I'm not surprised to see a little addition of an oyster shell there, I believe, next to
inside.
Yeah, very, very cute. Oh, she's mixed several colours in there. She's done a bit of mixing, which also I'm not surprised by. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, done all the tentacles. I thought they might struggle a bit with the tentacles because keeping it thin, you know, and also potential for stabbing yourself and everything. But yeah, good mix of all the different, she's got greens and blues and pinks and everything in there. But absolutely spot on. But I just love that little oyster shell as well. That's a fabulous detail, that is. She loves a bit of needle felting. She's really got that. That's got that kind of realism in the colours of the skin and everything, but it's beautiful.
I'm surprised she's got the right number of tentacles because her cat ate one of them. Or
yeah, Pongo. Yeah, bless him. Pongo got excited with one of the tentacles.
Because she did give them free range to do whatever embellishment they wanted and add bits.
Exactly. And that's why I thought it would be really interesting to see. I mean, as I said, I'm not surprised Elisa's done an extra piece on there. But as I say, they could be as creative and being artists, you know, mixing of colour. Wool's exactly the same, that you mix the wool and you get the colours change in the same way. So it was interesting to me to see how much they brought that across from their painting art to this, or whether they kept it, you know, straight colours because it's wool, whether the medium scared them.
I think it scared one or two of them, yeah. Okay, let's move on then to our next artist, which is our landscape oil artist. It is Fiona Hooper.
Ooh, very neat. Very, very neat. Now, I'm not surprised. Knowing Fiona, that doesn't surprise me. Now, this, in needle felting terms, we have particular sort of schools that serve needle felting. And this is very much of the Russian school of needle felting because it's that really, really neat, no wispy bits. And it's very of that, not that Fiona would have known that, but that's what she's naturally gone towards. And she's added embellishments. I'm loving those slotted eyes, very, very good. And also the added starfish. But yes, very, very, very neat. And very, very Russian, but I love it. I love all those colours. I love, you know, the embellishment around the eyes, emphasising, and the shading on the top. Yeah, very nice and colourful. And yeah, I love it. I love those eyes. They're amazing. And I noticed she hasn't got wispy bits on the end of the, because that would definitely gone against Fiona's aesthetic. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it is open to interpretation, your task, which is why it's such a good medium needle felting, because there's no right and there's no wrong, really, is there?
No, absolutely. And as I say, I was really interested to see how they actually took it.
So our next Bloomz artist, again, a very different medium that she uses. She normally paints with wax. It's Julia Rothel, our encaustic artist. So let's see Julie's Octopus. So there we are.
Ooh, lovely. Now I recognise that mix of colours. I think it might actually be called bilberry. Beautiful. Now, here, in contrast to Fiona's, this has been done much looser, which is fine as well, but so there'll be much more flexibility. And I noticed she's got one of the tentacles into the, is that saluting? Do we think
I think it's scratching his head. Scratching his frustration, I think.
Brilliant. And there's a little starfish on there as well. But yes, a much looser felt. There's no right or wrong way in that. You decide how strong you want it felted or not. But you can see here how this has a much more fluffier texture than Fiona's one, which was much more compact. And it's actually a brilliant example to show people the difference between what you get. And so you have to decide the sort of texture that you want. Once again, beautiful colour. I mean, I probably would have thought that the tentacles might have benefited from a bit more felting, but it is a difficult thing to do, to felt something thin when you've not done it before. So I completely understand why it won't necessarily have been done.
Here's a question that I don't think anybody's asked, is can you overfelt?
You can, but your arm will fall off before you manage to do it, probably.
No, I mean, the thing is, when you look at the, when I say the Russian style, it is because artists from Russia have a tendency to actually felt very, very hard. Now, you can actually get needle felting machines. And so with a needle felting machine, you most definitely can overfelt. And what happens is you felt the needle in so many times that there's nowhere for it to go. Because even when you've got quite a hard felted piece and you want to compact it, sometimes people think, right, I'm just going to keep felting. But to actually make it harder, you need to add more wool. And so just by putting a thin layer over the top, you're then actually taking that wool into the center, and that helps to compact it. So if you just keep felting something without adding, in the end the wool has nowhere to go and you're going to break the fibers, and it does actually it turns to dust basically.
Okay, so let's go on to our next artist, which is all the way up in Scotland, Bonnie, Scotland. It's Mac McGregor, and she's a contemporary visual artist. There is Mac's Octopus.
Nice and bright. I think we've got pinks, mauves, and probably dark blue in there, I think. Now, Mac has really brought out the texture of, you know, as I say, when you see those octopuses which glow and almost goes translucent and glow again, I feel like she's definitely tried to capture that. And with the bright yellow suckers underneath, which show up really, really nice. The idea with the loose bits at the end, it kind of gives that idea of floating in the water, you know, the way they flounce about. Got all the shape of the head and the eyes and the sucker. So she's done a great job shaping it. But yeah, I'm loving those colours because that really gives me the impression of a glowing octopus in the sea. I would say that Mac has done the halfway between what Julie and Fiona did, because it's not really, really soft and it's not rock hard. So this is kind of like that medium felted shape, I would say.
Okay, so another successful. They've all been they've all produced some incredible, considering that they, apart from maybe Elisa, they haven't needle felted before. This is
I know. I mean, I'm not surprised by the creativity, but all the shapes and everything that they're really, really successfully doing is brilliant. I'm so impressed.
Right, so we finish off now with our abstract artist, Sammy Hexter Andrews. Now, Sammy, again, a little bit concerned about needle felting, never done it before, but was determined to produce something out of this world. And I think she has.
Whoa!
And I can tell you, this is huge.
Wow, Sammy. Wow. What can I say? Gosh. Yes, you've gone all out. Well, you know, it's definitely a bit abstract, isn't it? From the point of view of the octopus shape and the eyes and everything and the tentacles all there. And she's added the starfish, and we've got another little
fish
urchin or something?
I think it's a fish that the octopus has caught for dinner.
Oh!
That's what it's supposed to be. It's brilliant.
Oh,
I think it's
oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are they eyelashes?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow. Absolutely. No, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love it when people put masses of detail. The more you look, it's one of those pieces, isn't it? The more you look, the more you see.
Yeah.
I'm not
smile straight away.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by, once again, the creativity and everything, and I'm loving it. Yeah, that she's taken it and added, and it's obviously you say it's huge.
Oh, it's huge. This is
brilliant.
I think the top bit, including the eyes, is about 8 inches.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So a bit like a Muppet.
Yeah, I think it could be in the next cast of the Muppets Christmas movie, or the Muppets Underwater World, or whatever.
Oh, I love it.
What has been lovely is that each of the artists have brought their own, obviously, creativity, but there's also a little bit of their own way of working, because we got the abstract here. Fiona was very neat.
Yeah.
Mac was a bit sort of out of the world with the colours she used. Cindy, she loves her tigers and orange. They've all done well, haven't they?
Oh no, absolutely. And the thing is, I really wanted to see their take on the task and actually see a bit of them in, you know, it, which is why it was so sort of left open in that sense. And I did actually give them a little video of instructions and everything. And anybody who wants to follow this, that'll be available for them to go and see as well. But it just, and then it's over to you type thing. And I would have been disappointed if they'd all just done exactly what I'd done in my sample.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
and
not
I love the fact that you can. I love the fact that what you take people out of their comfort zone and get them to do something they're quite, and yet they still come through. You know, they're still there. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I know I've probably said brilliant and love it a lot, but it is because, you know, needle felting is quite a technical thing, and to get people to do something like that they've never done before, you're not going to be, you know, an expert immediately, and nobody is. And so that's why it's so lovely to do something like this, where you don't have to do like intricate feathers or anything. You can actually just experiment and add colour and see what it looks like and see what comes out. And so they are all brilliant. There is absolutely nothing wrong with any of them, but I just, the real successes that I can see them in their pieces. They might not like that I've said that.
I think one thing that has come over to all of your fellow Bloomz artists is a huge appreciation for your work, for the time, the skill, dedication in making your pieces. We can see some of them behind you now. So, and I think the same applies to all of these Bloomz challenges. It gives an appreciation of what individual artist does. Thank you so much, Steph, for setting the challenge and for giving your review. And let's see where everybody goes from here with their needle felting.
It's been my pleasure. And 3, 2, 1, reveal. Woo! Wow, they're amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, I love it. I've got to hear more about these.
Oh my goodness. This, Sammy, yours is enormous.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy, how
It just
big
kept
is yours?
growing.
Oh, beautiful.
It's lovely.
It's just brilliant. I love
Like
it.
a cuddly
Wow.
toy. I
Oh
love
my
it.
God. That must have taken you hours.
Well, less said about that, the better.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Okay, we're
Wow.
going to find out a lot. Okay, so I'm going to come first of all to Cindy. Let's find out about. Ooh.
So, yeah, of course it had to be orange. Had to. Just couldn't help it. It was fun and painful and fun and painful. I had a scar.
Oh.
If I look close, I can still see where I stabbed the front of my finger, which was interesting. I broke one needle doing it. It was good. Like, it's something I would probably have another go at.
Right.
It was fun. These little sucker things, oh my God. I
Yeah.
just wanted to kill myself by the end,
Yeah.
just saying.
Take time. They take a bit of time.
They were not fun. They were not fun at all. To hold it, to make it that tiny, to yeah. Anyway, but apart from that, it was awesome, fun, interesting, lots of learning along the way, shall we say. I found it quite fascinating how you can literally just change the shape of it by stabbing it more.
Yeah.
That was really cool, because I had to do a lot of that, because apparently I couldn't get it to the right shapes to start with, but hey, you know. His legs are a bit uneven, but I like him. It
Yeah.
was fun.
Cool.
So, yeah, it was good.
I like it. Very good. I half expected to see stripes. Just saying.
I thought about it, but I wasn't really sure how to go about that exactly.
Okay.
So I did actually think about making him multicolored and all sorts of things, but in the end, I chickened out and just stayed for the
Fair enough.
Basically.
Okay, I'm going to go around. So, Sammy.
Oh. So, my sea monster. she just kept on growing. I don't know. I even weighed out the wool, and I don't know what happened. But she's got all her little suckers.
Wow.
One leg ended up shorter than the other, so I made a little clownfish to go in her
There you
leg,
go.
so it didn't look like it was short. I decided to give her some little eyelashes because I thought it's looking more like a Muppet. So I just carried on. And then the starfish took on a life of its own. But no, I really enjoyed it. I also broke a needle.
Yep.
I don't feel bad now that Cindy broke one too.
Quite normal.
But you know, I really enjoyed it, and I am just in awe of you. Well, I was in awe anyway of your sculpting talents, but how you create what you create when I can't even create an octopus is just amazes me. So I did enjoy it. I don't think I will be felting again. But
Maybe 2D felting as in a picture.
maybe, but I did enjoy doing it, but I don't think I will be doing it again. But it was a lot of fun, and I think anyone, I mean, if I can create this, anyone can create. So get more people on board for having a go at your task.
So, I mean, did you forget and maybe weighed it in ounces thinking they were grams?
Okay, Fiona.
Oh, well, this is Ollie and Stan, his little friend.
Oh.
So I went for a slightly more realistic look. Got his suckers underneath as well, which seemed to take forever. It was just like doing the rest of it seemed to be quite fast, and little Stan's got his little things underneath as well. So, but I just loved it. It was great fun. His legs, well, I did the legs, and then it looked like he should be called Stumpy, not Ollie. So I had to make them a bit longer and add bits on, and then I wanted some of them to have a bit of shape, so I kept stabbing more to make them, have a bit of shape. And it was really good fun. Loved it. Thank you so much, Steph, for the finger stores. They almost protected me from, not quite. I did manage to stab through them a couple of times. But it was great fun. I've got quite a lot of wool left over, and so I'd actually quite like to do something else, because I did really enjoy it. It was quite therapeutic, and it was good fun. Thank you for the challenge. I don't think I'll be rivaling your efforts anytime soon. But
You love trees, and I know a link on YouTube to show you how to make trees with.
Oh,
there you go. Okay, on my list, Mac, you're next.
Right. So I kind of mix colours.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can show you. Because I decided I didn't want to go just one colour, because I had to look online to see different octopuses, and I rather like different colours. And I thought, well, I'll use the colours that you suggested, the sort of purple and the white and the yellow. But what colours would work? And so I just collected, and I made the legs longer because I didn't like the shape of it, so I lengthened the legs, and so this is my.
He looks quite big as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is. As I say, because I extended him. Yes.
Very good. Beautiful.
yeah. Love the marbling effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, and I broke 2 needles. One just fell and broke, and the other one I kind of nudged when I had it in, sticking in the side, and I kind of nudged it. Oh,
Easily done.
yeah, and a few little plasters on my fingers.
And Elisa.
Okay. Oh, here she is.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I chose a red wool to cover the structure, and then I added the layers of, simulating the undersea vegetation in the plants. It's a mixture of green and blue, something like that.
Beautiful.
Then I love the project, so it's not a mystery that I love needle felting, and I think that I could divide my year into 2 sessions: one summer and the springtime for painting, and then and the Christmas mood for needle felting. So, and for me, it's quite it's very immediate and intuitive. Yeah. And once you understand that the core has to be done with a different wood because of its price and the consistency, then you just cover and go ahead. And I decided to personalize a little bit by adding a shell with the purlins.
Wow.
A guardian of the sea treasure.
Beautiful.
And like this, or just keep it in the legs. So also Pongo loved the project, and at the beginning one of the leg and went away, so I had to do it from the beginning again.
I love it.
It's a pleasure.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Love the extra project too. Very good. And Julie.
I might have got the smallest octopus of them all. Having had a conversation with Sammy about how she'd weighed her wool, I'm like, right, I'm going really careful. So I ended up with quite a cute, not cute, but little one. I had one leg was a bit different shape to the others, so I thought I'd let him do a bit of
absolutely.
leaf to hide that fact. I've got a little starfish on the back. But yeah, I mean, honestly, how you have the patience. I did enjoy it. But I'd stab a load and get a load of needle felted, but then I'd sort of walk away for 5 minutes and I'd come back and it's almost like it had gone poof, and then all unfelted itself. So I'd obviously not got it far enough, and I'd be like, I've done it again. But then I got to the little suckers. I'm like, oh, maybe they're a bit sparse actually compared to many of the others. I thought maybe I could just do the two that'll be on the ledge, and I'm like, no, we're going to be on video, so I'm going to have to keep going. But actually, this is sheep's wool from my dad's farm. I picked that up, so I quite like that. It's quite cute. But no, and then as I kind of went on, I'd got into like the refining, and I was like, actually, I got really into it. So I kind of had a bit of a bit of a fight with it. Some of it was quite frustrating, and it's not coming together. And then once I got into it, I was like, oh, I'll just keep honing that bit. And but no, it was good. I didn't, but I put his eyes a bit wider as well. I thought they'd be on the side of his head, but actually, you can only sort of see. It looks like he's got the one eye. Keep sort of looking at him from all directions. So, but yeah, I mean, hats off to you for the structures that you make and how you, even down to the muscles, the muscles and everything, and that pangolin. I mean, how you did. I mean, I don't know how many suckers I've got, but I mean that big pangolin you did with, I forget how many scales it was on it, to have that patience and dedication. 350 to have that patience and dedication to do that. I mean, yeah, it was a real eye opener for me to see what goes into your work. I mean, yeah.
Love it. And actually, Julie, yours is probably the size that I did my sample, but right. I love the different sizes, and Sammy just went huge, which is just, I mean, I really do think you ought to put that in for the Muppet Show. I really do. I mean, do
you remember those?
It's fantastic.
I love it. Yeah.
Brilliant. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you for setting the task.
Yes.
Coming up next time on the Bloomz on Tour.
The challenge I sent to my beautiful ladies all around the world was about, of course, painting a portrait of a woman in a particular position. This reference picture that I chose is very, very expressive, but it's also quite enigmatic because